Hey there, this is Makarov owner. So I just picked up a little tractor, a little garden tractor that the gentleman that had it got it from a neighbor, and it was like 5 or 6 years ago, and he wasn't sure what the make was or any of that. So I did a little searching, picked it up for what I felt was pretty good value, and all 4 tires were shot, and it hadn't run in a very long time, many years. And so anyway, I picked it up for what I considered a value, and it came with a rototiller attachment, a front blade, a 42-inch mower deck, all that stuff. So I got it home and started going through it and trying to figure out, what I had. So what I figured out was that underneath the hood, this whole thing's been repainted. It used to be gold. And underneath the hood, there's this tag, and you can just see the bottom of the word right there, and it looked like squire. So going off that, I was able to find that it was a Gilson squire tractor, made in the United States here in the 60s, probably about 67. The engine here that you see, its digits start with 30 and go on from there. So it's a Briggs & Stratton 30 cubic inch engine, which by looking on forums I found to be at 12 horsepower. So its choke cable is froze up, its throttle's not engaged, didn't have any electrical anything. I mean, we couldn't get power from the switch. In fact, we couldn't get power to the switch. We had to completely go from the battery and follow the power path all the way through. Finally got to where we had spark and all that, all the way up there to this cable, which the cable is messed up. In order to get to that cable, you follow that all the way down to the coil, back underneath that cover, which means you got to pull the flywheel and all that stuff, which we didn't do. We just kind of Mickey Mouse that cable for the time being. And I got a condenser that I put in because the other one was all swollen and crappy. So we went ahead and put a condenser on there. It's not the right one. We'll have to get the right one. But just from the auto parts store, I was able to round one up that it'll work. It gets a spark. So I got to go back through the cables and all that stuff. So we finally had to where we had spark, and we decided, you know what, let's go ahead and put some fuel in it and let's see what we get. And what we found was that the gas tank, even though we pulled the tank, we cleaned it out, we blew it out with air, there was a hole in the gas tank that we couldn't see. So I just did a fiberglass repair on that tank. And then, so we failed to get started, and we decided, you know what, let's try, priming it with fuel and what have you. We couldn't get enough power from the starter, and that was another question, was, do we have a starter or do we have a generator? And the answer was yes, we have both. So it is a Delco Remy starter that they used in the 60s, and in many points before and after that as well. It cost me about $100 to get a new starter. And then I needed 4 tires because those tires were completely garbage. I mean, they couldn't have been more garbage. So I ended up getting these tires here from a place called Tires Easy. And so I bought 2 for the back and 2 for the front, and rounded up tubes for those. In the back, they're a 22 by 8.5 by 12, so it's kind of a weird size. You can't just go into the auto parts store or to the Home Depot or somewhere and get them. And then another weird thing that we came across, it was the seat was all like floppy. It was all over the place. So I decided, you know what are we going to do with this? My son just wanted to grab it and pull it off. You can see it's all broken right there. And so, I took my time and went and I did a weld on that, because that bottom plate existed, but it was all just kind of not really there. So I went ahead and welded it. And then when I was looking at that, I decided, you know what, I'd like to do some padding to the seat. I still have to clean that up and paint it and stuff. But I decided, you know what, I'll go ahead and do some padding for the seat. And believe it or not, I went ahead and used the scrap inner tubes that had been out of the tires as my covering, and then I got these pool noodles from the Dollar Tree, these weird floaty things, and then that was my padding. So it's like the padding and the covering cost me nothing, and then I used some 5/8 plywood, some CDX that I had here to do that. So we're going to get ready to paint that and then bolt it up here shortly. And that's my new starter generator. That came in like 2 or 3 days. The tires with this COVID-19 thing going on have been, God, they said the estimated delivery date was like the 18th, so like 4/18. So I got the 2 larger tires. It came in, I think it was like Tuesday. And I still have not received the smaller tires, and so that's why I still have it up in the air. Was you know, I took the tires off and then wire brushed the inside of the wheels and painted those because they were a little rusty and crusty. And so anyway, it's been kind of a fun project. But anyway, with a repaired gas tank, 4 wheels and a starter, I think we're going to get running here shortly. So that'll be good. And boy, what a great find, I thought. And like I say, the piece was repainted. It was all originally gold, and this is the rototiller attachment that comes with it. And so I got that, plus the blade and the drive and a 42-inch mower deck and everything for $150. That just seemed like a screaming deal. I mean, I don't even know how you could buy that tiller piece for $150. I don't think you could. I mean, nowadays you wouldn't even be able to find a tractor that'd be able to take off, off the front. You can see how long it's been since it's been run. See how crusty stuff and the V-belt groove. So all your power takeoff comes from up here and then goes underneath for the drive assembly. And anyway, it was pretty neat. I just thought I'd like to share that. Have a good day. Bye.